Said I've been up and I've been down.
I've always lived a life fantastic.
Said I've been played and I've played around.
I always landed on my feet.
There have been bumps along the way,
but I had to take my chances.
And other times were not so great,
but you were standing there to grace me.
With open arms you would catch me.
And never I fall.
And with the same arms you would love me.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me. Sometimes the stakes seem so high.
We're going deeper.
And the lows felt much lower.
You were afraid, it ain't no secret.
No grace from any man.
Why don't you quit while you can still quit?
And then you say, come take my hand.
That wasn't me, it was something holy.
With open arms you would catch me.
If ever I fall.
And with the same arms you would love me.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me.
Whenever I
Wanna say it again. With open arms you would catch me.
If ever I fall.
And with the same arms you will love me.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me.
Whenever I call. Not gonna worry, not gonna worry.
Oh no, no, no.
Not gonna worry, not gonna worry.
Never gonna worry now, no.
Not gonna worry, not gonna worry.
'Cause you're always there.
Not gonna worry, never gonna worry.
Never gonna worry, no, no, no.
Don't worry about my lifestyle profile, it's just what I was made of. Disappointment or disapproval from the heavens, only thing I'm afraid of. I'm the nuisance child, grew up in the lowest tax bracket percentile with loud. So of course I'm bitter, got recourse for them hecklers who try to modify me. But if you can't control these streets, how can you gather me?
With open arms you would catch me.
If ever I fall.
And with the same arms you will love me.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me. TP, come on and sing.
With open arms you would catch me. If ever I fall. And with the same arms you would love me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always there to forgive me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Standing at the ready to receive me. And with the same arms you will love me. Always there to forgive me. Standing at the ready to. If ever I fall. Whenever I call.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I am here in studio, and I'm going to be pulling myself up on the screen. We're going to be discussing Lovy Elias affairs and the prophecy phone calls. We're going to be dealing with all of these situations and all of this stuff, and I want to talk to you guys tonight. And so let me get myself on the screen because we got some ground to cover tonight, and hopefully I will make this show worth your time, worth your view. Thank you guys so very much for coming over here. If you guys can do me the awesome favor of making sure that you hit the like button tonight so I don't have to stop so much and ask about that, I would really, really appreciate it. Shout out to all of the members and the subscribers of the channel. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to Sharon T. Leonard. Shout out to K-Locke. Thank you so very much, K-Locke, for being here with me. And shout out to Gerald, because I did see Gerald in here as well. So shout out to all of the moderators as well. Shout out to Patsy. Tasha Global, thank you so very much for being here. I'm going to need you, Tasha, to come up in a minute. If you have that ability, you can mute yourself if you got your baby close by. I won't mind. Because I really want to talk to you guys about something tonight, because the Holy Spirit's really been dealing with me about something, and he's really been dealing with me for about 2 weeks with it. And I kind of, got some clarity on a couple of things today, and I want to talk to you guys. So yeah. Shout out to Southern Breeze. Good to see you. Moni No Love. Hey, 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 hey. Shout out to all of you that are watching. I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight. So I'm going to get straight to the point tonight. I'm not going to belabor the situation very long. If you didn't have a chance to catch my live this morning, you may want to go back. I took you guys to have breakfast with me, and I also took you to we talked about Marvin Winans and some other stuff, and I took you to IHOP and on the road with me this morning. So if you missed that live, you might want to go back and check that out. Tonight, you guys, I want to talk about this subject because when this Gigi Rodriguez story came up, this Gigi Rodriguez story was a story that I just didn't want anything to do with. Because this is when you're dealing with false prophets and you're dealing with people who just are making money off of people and scheming and scamming folks. I hate to say it like this, ladies and gentlemen, but it's kind of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. These people in America, these prophets in America, these people in America have made the word of God, as the scripture has said, to no effect. They are preaching, prophesying, telling people all sorts of stuff. And it's just very, very difficult sometimes to even have these kind of conversations. And shout out to all of you that are coming in here. You will find it very easy. And one of the things that you will find connected to these false prophets and these false pastors and teachers is you will always find some type of essay that is connected to this stuff. And it's never too far away. It's always money and all of that other kind of stuff. It's all in the same vein, right? And so I decided that, I wasn't really going to touch this Gigi stuff, but I wanted Tasha Global to kind of talk about it a little bit, because I finally got through her other video the other night, because there's so many good content creators out there. Sometimes I turn you on my TV and I'll fall asleep, and it may take a day or two before I can catch up. And she's kind of more knowledgeable about this affair situation with Gigi. I just stayed away from it because I'm used to temple whores and telling these stories. And somebody said, well, what's a temple whore? Well, that's somebody that gives it up to men in the kingdom. There are some women that specifically go after preachers and pastors and men in the kingdom because it looks like a powerful position to them. It looks like a position that they long for. And so they typically go after pastors and preachers. So when you guys started talking about this Gigi story, somebody said, no, but the fact that 20% haven't hit the like is sad. Well, Daryl, can y'all please hit the like button? I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. Please hit the like button. Do I need to stop? And so I noticed something, like I'll have thousands of views, but you guys don't hit the like button, which is really weird to me. Shout out to Betty Yella. Good to see you here, Betty. Hopefully in about another week or two, hopefully, Betty, one of these gifted memberships will fall into your hands, because I'm gonna start gifting some memberships in a while. We got 120 of y'all looking right now. We've only got 51 likes. Wow. Let me put my phone down because I'll just But I promise y'all, I'm about to help y'all with something. Y'all got to stick with me tonight and don't rush me and let me take my time, because I tell you, I've been praying about this one. So when the Gigi story came, I just actually started talking to God about it. I was like, Lord, I don't want to tell this story. I don't want to touch this story because, either way you look at it, it's just not going to be good. And so I started talking to God about it, and I started listening to the other vloggers who were taking the time to sort of really dive into the story. I think Tasha Global did a great job. So did Vincent, and even St. James. They all did a great job on telling the story. So I said, you know what, Lord, I don't have any desire to tell this story and talk about Gigi. But what's frustrating for me when it comes to the Gigi part of this and the prophet Lovy Elias, affairs, is the fact that, Gigi is rolling this story out video by video by video. She's not coming forward with the truth, and just saying what it is. And it's just frustrating to me because I told you guys way back in Vincent's chat that Lovey and that girl had been sleeping together for that whole time. She tried to pretend like, no, they wasn't. And then now you guys are seeing, I think Tasha Global said in video number 3, she finally admitted to the fact that she was sleeping with the man. And it was just, just very stupid to me, because I'm like, if you're going to come out here and expose him, lady, by exposing Lovey, you're going to expose yourself, or you should expose yourself. And it also shows a level of humility when you can expose yourself and just be honest about the things that you have done and the things that you have said. And so I just really didn't, I'm not really caring about that story. And I'm hopefully, Tasha Global will be able to kind of clean up some stuff if I mess some stuff up with this story, or because I'm not going to go deep into it, because I'm going to tell you where the Lord took me. I started praying and talking to God, and I said, Lord, what's going on with these people? Like, what is this? What are we looking at? I'm like, because this is strange. All of this is really, really strange. And the Lord said, Marcellus, I want you to go all the way back. I say, back to what? He said, I want you to go back to Larry. And I said, what am I going back to Larry for? He said, I want you to think about what you were told when you first, encountered Larry Reed's platform. I need y'all to hear me tonight. When I first started listening to Larry was coming out of the institution. I guess he had moved to moved from North Carolina over here to Atlanta. He lost the church. He didn't have the church. So, he was going live. He was talking to people and telling people that God told him not to go back into the church and all of this other stuff. He had told us a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the things that Larry was saying when he was online was that he just wanted to get back to $100,000. He wanted his income to get to $100,000. So I was like, for those of you that was around back in those days, y'all remember that. And I was like, okay. So I started sending my folks over to Larry, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, Larry kept saying that he wanted to meet E. Bernard Jordan. And because he wanted to be mentored by E. Bernard Jordan. Now I heard somebody, Miss Lex, we'll get there. I heard that, be patient, you all, be patient. Someone told me today, because I've been talking to some people behind the scenes, someone said to me today that Larry told the people that him and Bernard Jordan parted ways, and they parted ways because Bernard Jordan had called him on the phone one day and told him that he needed his help in order to, get his reputation back because of a charisma article that had been done a long, long time ago. And I told that person on the phone, I said, well, that's not true. I said, because for those of us who were way back in the day, no, Gigi is her real name. Gigi is the real name. Let me just hold on. So, and that's why I got to stay out of the chat, and y'all got to stop doing that because it just throws me off. I'm sorry. So he was like, oh, he wanted to meet Bernard Jordan because he felt like Bernard Jordan would be able to help him, mentor him, etc. So all of a sudden, when Larry hooked up with Bernard Jordan, he made a 360-degree turn, 180, whichever you want to go with. So he makes this turn and he starts, going back in another direction, like going back into the institution and preaching all of this stuff and saying all of this stuff. But then again, what started happening with Larry is Larry started doing these counseling sessions, and he would take on these counseling phone calls. And he would tell people he was a counselor in the beginning when we first met him. And then Daryl Moore started telling people that Larry didn't have a degree in counseling and he wasn't no real counselor and all of this kind of stuff. So then Larry stopped talking about counseling, and then it went into this prophecy phone calls. And he didn't start talking about these prophecy phone calls until he encountered Bishop E. Bernard Jordan. And then at one particular point, Larry came on the screen one time, and he had Shamako and Latrice answering phone calls. It's like they were answering phone calls, supposedly giving out these prophecy phone calls. And I was like, well, when, and I was telling Daryl at one point, I was like, well, when did Shamako become a prophet? And I was like, something is off here. Like, and I just, I knew it didn't register well with me. Something just didn't seem right with me. But then I was like, I don't want to go there. But then when I started researching these prophets and these so-called Lovy, Passion, Java, all of these people, I was like, well, something is not right here. And so I sat with this for about 2 weeks, and I just kind of let the Lord kind of, talk to me about it. And then I started making some phone calls and calling around to some people. And then what happened was the Rosalind Weems kind of situation showed up. And then I was like, this is some weird stuff. She's over there in his Patreon giving out stock tips and stock advice. And I'm like, how are they getting away with all of this stuff? Y'all stay with me. And so when I started going down this rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen, I ran across first a couple of things. Now, I'm going to take you back, bring you forward, but we need to talk about it because Tasha Global said something in St. James chat tonight. She said she received another phone call from E. Bernard Jordan's ministry asking her for a donation, right? And let me tell you what I have discovered. These guys are using these prophecy and these phone calls in order to make their money. That's how they're actually making their money. They're making their money through these prophecies and through these phone calls. And Uncle Fred, I think it was Christine and I one time, we went over into the Zoe ministry chat when he was and we were like, what's going on with this situation? And how are these prophecies given? And we noticed that the more money you gave, the longer the prophecy got, and the less money you gave, the shorter the prophecy would be. And so I was like, it's very interesting how they're doing this, right? So I decided, I said, well, you know what? I want to go do some digging and look into some stuff. So let me tell you what started this and got me to running down into this rabbit hole. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. And let's talk about this for just a second, because I really want to talk about this. All right. So the Christian Post last year, and I didn't see this honestly until like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I swear I've been working on this. That's why I said I got a lot of stories that I'm going to be talking to you guys about. So I went to the Christian Post, and the Christian Post had an article that they did in April of 2024. And they said prophecy for sale. And now you need to understand that the Christian Post is a news article organization that had done a story on Bishop Bernard Jordan years ago. And they talked about the fact that he's always, allegedly selling these prophecies, in their opinion, selling the prophecies. And so they wrote this article about Passion Java, about prophecies for sale. And it says prophecies for sale, prophets mimic psychics charging up to $555 per phone call. And what I remembered and what this triggered in me is that when Larry met Bernard Jordan, he started making these prophecy phone calls and having these phone calls things where people could call him and pay him for these like prophecy kind of things. And I was like, this is some real interesting stuff. And I never really paid it any attention because I don't really care like that. But when you guys did this Gigi story, all kinds of stuff started running through my brain. And so I was like, this is some real interesting stuff. So I said, let me go into doing some more research. But in the process of doing some research, I also remembered a story that had came up over a year ago regarding this guy and some other people surrounding this story. Now, Dr. Dingleberry is telling everybody that he met Bernard Jordan because Bernard Jordan called him. But Bernard Jordan called him because Larry had been for weeks trying to get in touch with Bernard Jordan because he claimed he wanted to be mentored by Bernard Jordan. That's what he said. And now all of a sudden now, that they're supposed to be making this quote unquote separation, and sort of, their contract is ended. The story is changing. Now Bernard Jordan sought him out. I don't know what in the world that whole thing is, and I don't know the full details of that. So miss me if I'm wrong with that, but that's not my point. So I wanted to go over this with you guys, and I wanted to walk through this with you guys, and y'all need to, like I said, be patient with me tonight, because I promise you I want to go somewhere with this. So check this out. They say some 2,700 years ago, the prophet Micah warned that the prophets tell fortunes for money. Micah chapter 3, verse 11 in the NIV translation. The business of prophecy selling continues in 2024 and even now. This guy, Pangnai Java, I can't even really pronounce his name, the flamboyant Zimbabwe-born but Maryland-based preacher, better known as Prophet Passion Java, finances his lavish lifestyle by preaching the prosperity gospel and charging his followers $555 for phone calls. Passion Java is well known for wearing expensive designer clothes and driving high-performance sports cars while attracting scrutiny from prophets and watches. His Instagram account has 7.9 million followers. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't believe that he has no 7.9 million followers. If he does, he paid for them. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. There ain't nobody, no, because don't nobody even know who this man is. On his website, Passion Java promotes one-on-one phone calls for $555 and discloses there are no refunds. Testimonials on the website sound similar to ads for psychics. Okay, one guy said, I had a one-on-one with Papa Prophet Passion, and get this, I want y'all to understand something. The little Caucasian girl that they just found mimicking TD Jakes' sermon, she tagged this Passion Java fella in her Instagram post or whatever, and so he's also tied to her. And so what these folks are doing is these folks are using certain things to get people to connect to them and for their names to become greater in the space. Okay. And he said he prophesied that within 6 months you will have your visa. My visa has been approved by Canadian authorities, and that was supposed to be the great prophecy. According to the so-called prophet's website, there is a long wait to receive a call from Passion Java. Please be advised that after registering the 101 based on the prophet schedule, the average wait time is about 5 to 6 weeks, but can fluctuate. Thank you for waiting in a timely manner. We are experiencing a high volume of registers. If Passion Java makes 4 calls a week, he will generate over $100,000 in 1 year from phone calls. Let me tell you guys, it is a whole lot more than this that they're collecting, in my opinion. And we're going to do the math because I'm about to break some stuff down to you in a minute. I told you I've been praying about this. Passion Java also gives prophetic messages during his sermons, and in January 1 video, he prophesied that he would acquire a private jet in 2024. Preachers Bernard Jordan and Manasseh Jordan have also profit from the prophecy business. And we're going to tie some stuff together for you because these people's numbers are way too low. Bernard Jordan Zoe Ministries offers personal prophecies for $52. Meanwhile, Manasseh Jordan offers access to a live prophetic phone call with the prophet to members of his Diamond Partner program. Now, I want you all to stop right there for just a second. Now, stop right there. When I started praying about this, the Lord reminded me of Larry and his Sunday prayer calls that he does. And I was starting to try to figure out and talk to the Lord about how they're making their money, because this really started to really, turn my wheels. And I started talking to God. I said, Lord, what are these people actually doing? And so one of the things that he said to me when it comes to this stuff is they are using their private memberships, like their Patreons, and just like Manasseh Jordan's has this access to a live prophetic phone call. They're using these prophetic phone calls in order to get a select number of donors or a group of people that they can go to and consistently hound about money, because these people are the people who have been consistently giving to them on an ongoing basis. Y'all got to stay with me. The reason why they call Tasha Global tonight again for a donation, and Tasha, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the you received at least 2 phone calls in the last couple of weeks, because you got a phone call I think either last month, and now you just now getting another call this month. Okay, so hear me out. So they're using these group of core givers to fund their actual ministries, because you guys got to keep in mind, these guys don't have, a lot of them don't have churches anymore. They're trying to do everything digital. So they're trying to, and look, I didn't even know that. See this? See, I'm on it. I'm on it. Thank you, Holy Ghost. I'm on it. I'm on it. Let me tell y'all something. This is the real talk. I declare unto you guys, I've been praying about this. So I said, okay, well, Lord, what are they doing? So they got this core group of people that they can constantly continue to call and depend on in order for them to fund their ministries. Okay. If you guys remember, and Daryl and all of you guys around here, I want y'all to hear me. Every now and then you will hear Dr. Dingleberry tell his group of followers, I need everybody to give $188, or I need the people to give $18.88, or they got to do this $8.88, and all of this kind of stuff, right? And so typically when those people are doing that, that is how they're able to fund their ministry. But these profit phone calls and these phone calls that they're making to their core group of supporters, this is how they're funding their lifestyles, and this is how they're funding their lives. Because without those prophecy phone calls, the whole house of cards falls down. Don't believe me? Okay, Holy Ghost, let me give it to you like the Holy Ghost gave it to me. Those prophecy phone calls and those prayer phone calls are essential to those people making all of their money. You don't need a lot of people. You don't need a lot of followers in order to make a significant amount of money on social media, you guys. If you get a good, there's a book called, what's it called? It's called the 1,000 followers, or the power of 1,000 followers, or something like that. It's what I teach my YouTube students. If you can get at least 300 to 500 folks that will, or 1,000 people who follow you and purchase all of your stuff, whatever you're purchasing, whatever you're selling, if you can get at least $100 out of that core group, you can literally make 6 figures a year just from $100 from each person. But these people are collecting $18.88. They're collecting $900 from some people. They're getting a whole lot more money. Okay. So what they're doing is once or twice a month or once a week, they're making these prophecy calls or these prayer calls. And on those prayer calls, they are asking people for a certain dollar amount. That dollar amount is what they use to fund their lifestyle. Let me get out the calculator for just just understand something. Ladies and gentlemen, if 188 people, if 300 people give you $188, that is $56,000 that you have made in a week. Now you multiply that times 4, and that gives you the other piece of the pie or puzzle as to how they're making an enormous amount of money. Now, the reason why I stumbled onto this is because Passion Java is doing this. All of the people that they mentioned in this article are doing this. Okay. And so I started going to all of their websites. I said, well, let me go to their websites and see what's going on here. Right. So I went to everybody's website and I started perusing, and I ain't gonna go there right now. We'll go there another time. But you are correct, love and happiness, because these people started doing the robocalls. Manasseh did the robocalls, but what they've learned is you can't do the robocalls to a random group of people. You can only do the robocalls legally to people who have supported your ministry and given you their name, their address, and phone number. They can call you 1,000,000 times. Now, listen to me, Tasha Global. If you ever get them on that phone call and you tell them to remove your name from the list and you record it, listen to me carefully. It is against the law for them to call you ever again. They have to not call you because you have made the request. And if you go to the do not call registry, which you can, and register your phone number, they are no longer allowed to call you and beg you for money. It doesn't matter whether or not it's a nonprofit or whether it's a for-profit corporation. But if you give them your name and your information, they can keep calling you over and over again. So I said, okay, Lord, what's the other piece to this? He said, Marcellus, they're collecting these people's names and phone numbers, and they're calling them on a regular basis to make their money. This is how they are making their money. And I said, so let me go down the rabbit hole. Y'all know how I am. So I started going down the rabbit hole. Now, according to this article, these donors give $500 to Manasseh Jordan's ministry. In 2019, Manasseh Jordan lost a lawsuit in which he was accused of illegally robocalling people for donations. The Cook County Record reported that Manasseh Jordan Ministries placed more than 163 million automatic calls. Now, y'all need to understand something. When I started researching this Manasseh Jordan fellow, I found two big, one of them was like a lakefront property, and he had another big old mansion property. And I was like, how does this boy get this kind of stuff and get this kind of stuff so quickly? Listen, y'all, this is how they make the money. The Cook County Record reported that Manasseh Jordan Ministries placed 163 million automatic calls to a database of more than 4 million unique cell phone numbers in just 2 years. So Manasseh Jordan was calling these people, raising this money, and he was doing it in less than 2 years. Let me share with you guys another thing. And this is why I brought up Dr. Dingleberry. When Dr. Dingleberry first started, he just wanted to get to $100,000. And then I couldn't understand for the life of me how Dr. Dingleberry went from throwing away his cassocks and whining and complaining about $100,000 to all of a sudden having all of this money. And I'm eating that roof crisp and the rest of y'all ain't eating nowhere. Y'all ain't on my level. Y'all remember. So I was like, wait a minute. How did he get all of this stuff? I said, oh, and this is what the Lord said to me about these prophecy calls. These people are using these prophecy calls in this list in order to make their money. If you get 300 people to give you $188, I'm just telling you, now you've got the $56,000. So what happens if you don't get the 300 people to give you the $188? You do what they're doing to Tasha Global. You start calling the mailing list. You start calling the robocall list. And so here's the thing when it comes to calling. You can't robocall them, but I can personally have a live person on the line to call you to ask you for a donation. And I can keep having these people call you week after week after week until you make a donation. And I was like, I'm on to something here. Now look here. Let me tell you something. The Diamond Group says in Manasseh Jordan's group, according to the Christian Post, I'm committing to $500 plus a month or more to become a Diamond partner and to help Prophet Manasseh spread the gospel. What gospel are they preaching? And what prophecy God are they serving in order to give you these prophecies? What's going? What in the world are they doing? Now listen, he says, by committing, you will receive a free subscription to the Prophet Manasseh's teachings on the prophetic anointing. Now let me tell you how they make this legal. They got to give you something, because if the government ever comes after them, they got to give you something tangible. So they're going to give you a free subscription to his teaching. Then you're going to get a daily prophetic and inspirational devotion, but you're going to get that through email. You got to get something. And then when you go, and I'm going to show y'all some stuff in a minute. Y'all, I'm going to take my time. I'm a dog walk this. Y'all stay with me. Now, then it goes, consistent monthly video updates on the ministry progression, priority seating at Prophet Manasseh events, free access to Prophet Manasseh's manuscripts. What manuscripts? Are you writing Bibles? What are you talking about? Free access to Prophet Manasseh's monthly prophecy conference call. Get this, the prophecy conference call. The prophet will be in prayer as he seeks the Lord for a prophetic word for your life. access to a live prophetic phone call with the prophet, and access to the ministry's product for free. Okay, so understand this. Most of the prophets and prophecies offering prophecies by phone are relatively unknown religious leaders. These are people who people don't know. And so here's the other thing that I started thinking about. I said, well, Lord, how did Prophet Passion, Prophet Lovy, and all these people, how did all this get hooked up? Walk with me here. Larry meets Ebenar Jordan. At some point, Lovy and Dr. Dingleberry hook up, and then Larry, Bernard Jordan, and all of them they're all in cahoots in my mind. And they're all getting this business plan down. And let me tell you how I know this and how I'm thinking about this. Larry didn't understand this prophecy thing and these prophecy calls until, in my opinion, until he met Bernard Jordan. That was the key to Larry doing these prophecy phone calls. Because if you remember, he wasn't doing no prophecy phone calls before that. He was doing counseling phone calls, and he was charging people for counseling. And until Daryl, ratted him out about the prophets, about the counseling calls, and said he ain't had no degree in counseling and all his degrees was fake. Then all of a sudden he took the doctor off of Larry Reed, and then he went scurrying into the abyss, and then he done come back out here again now, calling himself Dr. Reed and Dr. this and Dr. that. So it's been a very interesting situation. But that's the connection between Ebenar Jordan and Lovy. Now, Lovy meets Larry. Larry has Lovy to speak at his conference, right? This conference. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if by chance, now this is just a theory of mine. I can't prove this, but I'm telling you, this is my theory. I've been praying about it, thinking about this. This is what I'm thinking. Who better to teach Lovy and EJ and Passion and all these people this stuff other than Ebenar Jordan and Larry Reed? Because I don't think these people step foot on ground preaching this stuff. When they got here to America, they were not like this. And even St. James has said on his video, St. James said, well, Marcellus, these people, their whole look changed after a certain amount of time. And then I started saying to myself, well, wait a minute, that white man, Greg Locke, if y'all remember, and we're going to go over here for a second. If you remember the white preacher, the crazy white racist preacher who was friends with Lovy and EJ and Passion of them, he came out with a video where he lambasted them for running women, for having sex and doing all of this stuff with these girls and spending all of this money. And we're going to go there. I told y'all I was going somewhere, and I done got ahead of myself, and I done gave y'all all a lot of stuff in a quick period of time. Can y'all please do me a favor and hit the like button? Even the Bush people, I got 445 of you right now in the chat. I need for y'all to please hit the like button. I should have at least 200 likes. I'm going to stop before I play the video. And before I go any further, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to ask you to fall out of the bushes and hit the like button, because I know what I'm saying. And I know this is good content, so you need to pay attention. Now, this ain't me cussing nobody out. This is just me doing some good old investigation. Okay. So please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to go forward with that. Also, I want to ask those of you tonight that support the Mad Church Disease channel, those of you that support the channel, I need at least 4 of y'all to do $12. I want to stay on budget for the month. So the Cash App information is on the screen for you. Just 4 of you to do $12, and we can move on our business and continue on with what we got to do on tonight. So I need for y'all to hit the like button, and for those 4 people to go about supporting the channel. So if you haven't supported the channel yet this month and you want to do it, make sure that you go ahead and do that. I would really appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to take a pause right here while I watch you guys hit the like button, and I'm not going to even get to my video because I got a video that I need to show you, and we need to break some more stuff down here. So please make sure y'all hit the like button. While you're hitting the like button, Vivek Ramaswamy says that he's out of the Trump administration. He's already leaving. And I did get word from one of my moderators told me before we came on, Donald Trump sent all of the presidents an invitation to come to his inauguration. Thus far, all of them have declined. So not only is I'm told Michelle Obama not coming, Barack Obama's not coming, none of the Bushes are coming, none of the Clintons are coming either. They have all opted out of going. He didn't go to President Biden's, and I feel the same way. They shouldn't go to his neither. All right, moving right along. And Tasha, just stay close by, Tasha Global, because I'm gonna have you to come up on the screen in a minute. I need your help with some stuff with that Gigi stuff. So I'm like, okay, Lord, where y'all at? Did y'all give me I got to 173. I need at least 20 more likes. Come on, y'all, get me to close to 200, because I noticed y'all will sit here and watch all this content and won't hit the like button. Y'all leave me and won't even hit the like button. And I know you're watching, and I know you like the content. And we're just having a conversation here. So don't go back talking about Marcellus hates all of these people. I don't hate nobody. I'm just doing some research. That's all I'm doing. Because y'all will be swearing up and down I hate everybody that I'm talking about. And I don't hate nobody. I'm just doing my homework. Well, first of all, but Bernard Jordan, Bernard Jordan's name has been mud out in the Christian circles for years and years and years. And Larry surely wasn't going to help him be able to recover his name. And what name did he have to recover? His name has always been mud. Nobody amongst Christian evangelical Christian circles have ever respected Bernard Jordan. He knows that. That's why he got mad when I told him. But that's a whole nother matter. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. I really do appreciate it. Let's go a little bit further here. Okay. It says most of these prophets and prophetesses offering prophecies by phone are relatively unknown religious leaders. Okay. Passion Java, EJ, Lovy, all of these people most of us didn't even know their name, right? And some of you didn't even know Lovy's name until he ran into this fair or this situation with this girl named Gigi. Most of us didn't even know her name, okay? Most of us didn't know her name. I'm just saying. Now, besides leading Christian drama productions, Prophet Kyle Miller provides 15-minute calls for $42 and 30-minute calls for $80. Now, this is what these prophets is out here prophesying. Nam Collins promotes himself as a cutting-edge prophet called to the nations of the world. Collins charges $50 per prophetic word, okay? And he charges $50, and then they're showing you these people's PayPal stuff. All right. Prophetess Yasmin Best website, Prophets on Call, claims we deliver authentic and accurate insights for every situation from the mind of God directly to your ears. And then they go into this whole situation. Okay. Now that's their situation with that. Now let me stop sharing. No, I'm going to share it, but can I switch it over? Let's stop sharing this for the moment. So what I did was I said, okay, Lord, I remember the Greg Locke fella talking about prophet passion and prophet Java. And I said, well, Marcellus, let me go into this a little bit more. I said, because something's up with this. And I said, Marcellus, when you get that spiritual inclination, I gotta go down here and go down the process. So the Holy Spirit was leading me. So I decided I'm going to do a little bit more research, right? So I'm researching, and we're going to go here to this video. So listen up, y'all, pay attention to this. And it's a 27-minute video, but I'm going to, for what is the word, for copyright, under the Copyright Act, I'm going to stop and pause it, so that we can use this. And so that's why I'm going to do that. But I want you guys to hear this, and then we're going to go somewhere with this. So let's go with this. Let's pay attention. So this is Greg Locke. He's rebuking Prophet Lovy Elias. Okay, let's watch this.
I believe in prophecy, 1,000%. I've benefited from it. Our church has grown from it, benefited from it. 1,000%. Okay? I told you a while back that I am loyal to my friends to a fault. And that's okay. Loyalty's a rare bird these days. You ought to be loyal. But you can never swim in the mixture of being more loyal to a friend than loyal to the truth of the gospel.
Now, y'all remember that back in a couple of weeks ago, about a month or so ago, I did a video where Dr. Dingleberry was asking for loyalty for Lovy because of the EJ situation. And let me just say, based on what this Locke just said, you should never be loyal, or, these folks are always asking for loyalty. That's a whole big situation with all these guys. They want you to be loyal. And I need 3 of y'all I'm sorry, 4 of y'all to make sure that y'all support the channel tonight with at least $12. Come on, you guys, so we can get to where we need to go.
Okay? So, let me just, I'm going to kind of start backwards, and we'll kind of come in the back door on this.
I promise you, stick with
Some
me.
of you,
This is
this
going to be
name will
good.
mean nothing to you, and that's fine. Don't ever allow it to mean anything to you. And you have to understand, number one, I have a lot of skin in the game. I have a lot of on the scenes, on the stage, behind the scenes, behind the stage. So in running the risk of sounding like a jerk, let me say this. If you've never been in the positions that I've been in, you don't get the privilege of criticizing me for what I'm about to say.
Now, what he's talking about when he says, if you've never been in the positions that I've been in, he really is using the wrong word. He's saying, if you've never been in the places that I've been in and seen what I've seen and saw what I saw and heard what I heard, you don't get to judge me. And that's essentially what he's trying to say here. Okay. Not just being in a pastoral or leadership position will cause you to be in these places and positions, but he's going to talk to you because Greg Locke was telling us months over a year ago. This video is over 1 year ago. He told us way back then. Now, I saw this video, but I didn't put the stuff together until this past couple of weeks. And so y'all just pay attention. Barack has no business being there either, Patsy, but that's a whole nother story.
Because I've been there. I've got their phone numbers. I've been to their places. I've hugged them. I've talked to them. I've ministered with them. Okay? So there's this little cat that has influenced somebody in our church, by the way, that I love dearly. And some of you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into all that. But there's this little dude out there.
Maybe I should speed it up. Y'all want me to speed it up?
Passion Java. Okay? Prophet Passion. First of all, that's not even his real name. It's a fake name. It's a made-up name.
Now, y'all need to understand the other set of that, too. His name isn't real. That's not his real name. That's another thing. And these dudes are out here giving these fake prophecies. We found out that their braids aren't real. We done found out that their hair isn't real. We done found out that their prophecies aren't real. All of this stuff that these dudes are doing, a lot of this stuff is just shrouded in falsity. And a lot of this stuff is just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Okay, people that use fake names do that for a reason. This ain't Hollywood. Tell me who you really are. So Java is, he's Kundalini spirit 1,000%. Remote control anointing, tripping people from a distance, spirit of divination. I'm trying to be very, very kind. I really am.
Now that's him trying to be kind.
Okay? But there's some people that you don't have to be necessarily that kind to, because the Bible says when you know somebody is false, you call them out.
And you know what? They never do it. These preachers hardly ever do that. They only call it out when it hits their life and when it's somebody that's really close to them. They never really call it out when it's, other people. They just don't do that. Hey, Darnell.
Okay, you call them out. And I don't, it's the connection that gets me, and that's where I get a little emotional, and so I'll explain something to you. Java's a witch doctor. 1,000% he's a witch doctor. And I hate to have to say that, but the Bible says he's a Simon the sorcerer. He only cares about power, money, influence, Ferraris, and women.
And women. So y'all need to all keep this in mind. Now, Passion Java, EJ, Lovy, they're all friends. They all hang in the same circle, little clique group, okay? So you need to understand something. These folks are hanging together in that whole sort of clique group, so y'all need to understand that. And this is why Tasha Global has a whole series now called the Dingaling Slingers. It's just hilarious. That name is hilarious, but it's true.
And I know that one to be 1,000% the truth. Okay? So he's part of a group of people that are in a very tightly, it's not even loosely, a very tightly knit prophetic society. They go to a certain mountain, they go to a certain river, and they are taught how to be a prophet.
They are taught how to be a prophet. Now stop right there. Oh, my Holy Ghost is working. Listen to me. Who is teaching them this, ladies and gentlemen? Who's teaching these guys this? Because what Greg Locke is going to tell you in a minute is these guys were broke. When he was friends with them and he knew these dudes didn't have no money, just like Larry. When we first encountered Larry way back in 2015, 2014, Larry ain't have a dime to his name. And then all of a sudden you click your heels together and Larry's over here talking about I'm rich and I got all this money and I got all of this stuff. Well, where did this stuff come from? How do you get all of this stuff? Wait a minute. Prophecy phone calls and the prophecy game. Y'all listen to me very, very carefully. It is a very lucrative situation. And I'm trying to tell you, he ain't that bright. These people are not that bright. You over there thinking that you're not as spiritual and you're not as smart as these folks. Trust me when I tell you, there are something else and they're lying. It's these prophecy phone calls and it's this prophecy stuff that they're doing to make their money.
Okay, if you're a prophet, the Holy Ghost will teach you how to be a prophet. So I've had real reservations for a very long time, even more so than reservations, triple red flags with Java. And people have asked me, what do you think about it? Okay, the demon slayers, you know, we've all talked about it. It started to bring about some of the original dissension with the demon slayers and Daniel Adams and all of that, right? And I'm not against, I love Daniel. I love Daniel. Okay.
And if you got a name like Demon Slayers and all this, you know, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon. You know, it's like Thundercats. You know what I'm saying? Marcella, stop, because y'all remember when we was growing up, they have Thundercats. Y'all remember when you using names like Demon Slayers and stuff like this? Come on, you know, you're trying to brand yourself as all of this stuff. It's just hilarious to me, but let me go on.
And I'm still with Vlad and Joseph Z speaking at Daniel's conference at the end of November, 1st of December, provided one person is not on the slate, which happens to be in this prophetic grouping. His name's E.J. Newton.
Now, look what he says, provided that this guy, E.J. Newton, is not in the circle. Now, he done talked to you about Prophet Passion. He done told you about, now he's mentioned E.J. Newton. And in a minute, he's about to mention Prophet Lovy Elias. Watch this. This gets good.
So look, I'm careful with this because I've been very close to the flickering flame for a long time. And I wouldn't even, if I wasn't such a public figure with such exhaustive honesty before my church, I wouldn't even have to tell you this because I feel like I led some people this way a little bit. So now I have to publicly be like, okay, let's.
Not a little bit, Greg. You led them that way. That's you just trying to save face. Just like Gigi has been doing over all of these videos. Y'all keep trying to save face when you know you done messed up.
Clean the poo-poo up a little bit, okay? Okay? Are you okay? Okay. So this guy's a witch doctor. He's got one of our guys witched in our church. And I love the guy that he's got witched. But when I saw it, I'm like, uh-oh. He's about to go from being broke to being a millionaire overnight.
Now understand, he said he's about to go from broke to being a millionaire overnight. Think about these people that we're talking about tonight and these prophecy phone calls. These people are going from nothing to a whole lot of money overnight. Now, if you don't have a conscience, if you sold your soul to the devil, if you've given up, you know, your ability to live for Christ and to love his people and to be good and kind and gracious to his people, then that's on you. But there are some of us that genuinely do care about the body of Christ. We really, really do. And I know you may not agree with that. You may not like that, but that's just who we are. And I'm trying to tell you, and I'm trying to help somebody come out of the stupor that you're in because you keep giving money and funding this dysfunction. He said they're going to go from being broke to being rich overnight. Guess what happened? That is exactly what happened to Dr. Dean. Dingleberry. Dr. Dingleberry went from not having nothing to having all of this money overnight. And now he's trying to tell all of us he's super, uber rich. It's all a scam, in my opinion. And it is all these people doing all of this ridiculous stuff.
And he did. He went from me paying for peanut butter sandwiches to now he's Gucci'd up, wide slam open.
Think about what he's saying.
Went from obscurity to fame overnight. And it's the same MO with all of these people in this prophetic stream. Okay? Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, anybody that's in this stream ends up going that way.
And that little girl who stole Bishop T.D. Jakes' sermon, she's in that same stream. And you see how they had her preaching to my, oh, you need to talk to yourself. And when you're driving down the road in your car, you gotta talk to yourself. And they got her mimicking, trying to sound like she's black when she sounds stupid as hell. And I'm not kidding. As soon as I saw that sermon, I used to, scroll really quick because I don't need to hear these people. So I'm just trying to tell you, these people are something else.
Now, why that's even important up until this point is because of this. I am friends with, you understand, Lovy Elias. I am.
Gigi's ex, Prophet Lovy. I'm just saying.
We flew to LA to see it for ourselves. I have more skin in the game than everybody in this church combined right now.
And I see, this is what people do when they realize they done funded dysfunction, and then they start crying and want to stand before God, and you want to ask why in the world. Well, you want to get up there and start weeping, and you have your Jim and Tammy really need you moments when you really needed to spiritually be watching and paying attention. That's why the Bible says that we're not only to just watch, but we're also to pray. You got to pay attention to what you're dealing with these people, and stop just believing all of these people's storylines. Everybody got all these stories. Yes, he starts to cry, Southern Breeze.
I have more skin in the game than any of the demon slayers combined, including Daniel.
I'm just saying.
I've talked to him for hours. We FaceTimed, so listen very closely to what I am and what I am not saying. Remember when Joseph C. said when a prophet begins to get off kilter, he can get to about the 60-fold and he still has some salvageability to him. You can still reel him back in. I feel like Lovy is there, but I have to unhitch our church and my influence from him.
Okay, now listen to me. He says that he thinks Lovy is there, and that's only because, in my opinion, Lovy has more charisma and he's more charismatic, and people tend to drawn more closely to Lovy than they are Passion and EJ. Now I'm gonna lay some things out here. Some of you are not gonna agree with what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna tell you, for marketability, Lovy is more marketable and more charismatic because, first of all, he's light-skinned. Y'all not gonna like what I'm gonna say. He talks like Benny Hinn with the little accent, right? You got the accent going on. And people tend to get, confused and bewildered and baffled. Yes, Southern Breeze. When these guys, these so-called prophets and spiritual folks are speaking in these accents. Oh, my brother. You know how Benny Hinn was. Oh, my brother. You know how Catherine Kuhlman was with the power of the Holy Spirit. And, they start talking like that. And, they got all of this stuff going on for them. And they start talking, oh, I'm the prophet. And I'm going to lay my hands on you. And then if I lay my hands on you, my brother, the Holy Spirit is going to touch you. And you get all mesmerized and all of this stuff. And they're not too following behind passion, and EJ hanging on by a thread because they done told EJ you done crossed over the prophet line because he starts squealing and telling the stuff that's on them. You understand what I'm saying? So he done crossed over the prophet line and done made everybody nervous, and and because he's out there squealing and telling people, yeah, we was using divination and we was going to the witch doctor, and EJ is out there telling all the tale, and let me tell you something. These other folks are not the only ones that's over here. Now, when Daryl talks to you guys about burying his name in a jar and putting his name in the sand, y'all just think that Daryl just made that stuff up. No, he didn't make that stuff up. That stuff came from somewhere, because people will call us, text us, tell us, oh, this is what's going on and this is what they're saying they're doing. This is what the situation is. And we typically will get all of this stuff, right? And I have to come back and tell Daryl, Daryl, these people cannot hoodoo what God has fixed. When God has his hand on your life, that's why you have a prayer life. That's why you talk to the Holy Spirit, and you have a personal life with God yourself, because you're not going to hoodoo me and you're not going to who bang me. You can do all of that other kind of crap that you're trying to do. But the very thing that you try and send in my direction, it's going to boomerang back on you. And that's why some of you looking sicker than ever. You keep losing weight and you're looking all funny duddy in the face because you sitting up there trying to put other people's names in jars and carrying and doing all this foolishness, and it's backfiring on you. And that's why even more this stuff is going to backfire on you. I'm just saying.
Okay? By the way, can I say something? And not sound abrasive. When I was going into this tonight, I was thinking to myself, Lord, please don't let this come off as a racist issue.
Well, we already know you was racist, Greg Locke, now. But do I believe you're telling the truth about this situation? Yes, I do. I do. You said some horrible things, Greg. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, as a black person living in America, sir, you done crossed the line several times.
And the black folks stood up and clapped for me when I said it.
It's always a Negro somewhere that's gonna stand up and clap for somebody, including Trump. I'm just saying.
So listen,
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you why this is hard for me, because I'm loyal to my friends. I have, on a number of occasions, questioned, asked, begged for him to publicly break off his alliance with Java. But he won't. He won't. And it's put me in a very precarious situation. Because I feel like, as a shepherd, in trying to gather facts and information for myself, I inadvertently brought spiritual warfare into our tent that we did not necessarily have to have, because in my, oh, help me, Holy Ghost, I'm very careful. In my connection to the network.
Now, why are you connected to the network, Greg Locke? See, that's the thing. If the prophets are evil and you know what the prophets are doing, why are you connected to the network? That's what I don't understand either. And I might end up having to do a part 2 to this video, because I don't want y'all to fall asleep on me, and I need y'all to stick with me. So sit up in your chairs, because I got some other stuff that we're going to do before I close out this video. I have some other stuff I want to show you. I'm not going to keep the video playing for too much longer. We'll come back and we'll do a part 2 to this. Everybody sit up. I need y'all to sit up. If you done fell asleep and you laying back in your chair, go get you some tea, coffee, something. Go get up, because I'm telling you, I done prayed about this, and I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying is true, and y'all need to be paying attention to what I'm trying to give you right now. Understand something. I done prayed about this. I declare unto God, I done prayed about this. And this is the wickedness of this situation. And this is why Bernard Jordan, this is why, in my opinion, Larry Reed, this is why these so-called false prophets in America and these people have been allowed to get away with this stuff for so long, because don't nobody talk about it. Don't nobody bring it up. Don't nobody try to share with these people what's going on. You're going to have to give this video to one of your friends. Or now, Tasha Global told us that she had given them people over $62,000. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, these people are wicked. Tasha Global say, I done took a nap. I'm wide awake. Good. Stay there, Tasha, because I want to talk about Gigi in a minute, because all of this stuff is tied together. All this stuff is tied together. Let me continue.
We inherited a familiar spirit. Hear me? I hope he will make a public declaration.
And he won't.
And I'm not going to force him into it.
You can't.
It's not my place.
He's already too deep in with the other false prophets.
And so it puts me in a strange spot, because when you have a big platform, everybody wants to jockey for position and figure out whose side you're on. First of all, I'm on the side of Jesus, you understand, right?
Well, that's all nice and well and good to say in the beginning, but you were talking to these people behind the scenes, and you were going through the flow of the prophetic network. So you weren't on the side of Jesus when you was going through all of this flow of prophetic network. Let me tell you all something. Thank you, Holy Spirit. When I found out who Larry was, Dr. Dingleberry, I backed away. He think he sent me away. No, I sent myself away. Let me tell y'all something. When I discovered who that man was, I went a running. Y'all want to know when the light bulb really went off for me regarding Dr. Dingleberry? Is when he told that Juanita Bynum story. And he allowed that preacher to come up on that screen and lie. And then he had the nerve to start talking about Juanita Bynum like a dirty dog, and her her assistants and all of her people. He was running around and talking about they was all lesbians and all this stuff. Well, you knew they was all lesbians before. Even when you had her calling into your show and you was interviewing her and you got mad that Vincent went off. You knew all of that stuff then. I'm just saying. And when he told that story, and I saw the way he changed that story and he shaped that narrative into that darn making that all about Juanita, and Juanita was crazy and Juanita and all of this stuff. And then the next day, I think he put out a paper that talked about her itinerary and how much money she asked for a speaking fee. It was all to shape a narrative. And then when I saw that, I said, oh, I can't fool with this fool. Because a lot of preachers have honorarium requests. Juanita Bynum ain't the only one.
But
now, of course, you want to know my opinion? I think that what happened between Greg is the same thing that happened between Demetrius Senegal, Brian Carn, and them other false prophets when they start trying to say who gonna be the top prophet and who gonna be the top dog. And see, Greg thinks he's older. He thinks he's been in pastoral ministry longer. So he probably was trying to lord over the guys, and these guys were trying to break away from him. That's my opinion. I don't know if that is the case, but I'm telling you, I have been in church way too long. I have seen this too much, and I know what happens when it comes to this. If y'all remember when they were doing that prophetic college, when Bishop Bernard Jordan and Demetrius Senegal and them got into a big tiff on who was going to be in control of the prophets thing, and then they had one group was called one thing, and then they had the prophetic college and all this other thing. It had like two different names because everybody's jockeying for position, just like what Greg Locke said before. They always do that, and it always ends up being like that, right? That is just how simple it is. It is what it is, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I have a responsibility to people that I've introduced that network to also get up and introduce a level of truth that is difficult for me to say, and say, you know what? I'm out. We're not going that way. Can't. Now, I won't tell you what to do in your house. You watch who you want to. I am so forgiving in areas when I know somebody. That's why emotionally it bothers me, because, I could come off all half-cocked. Now, listen, when it comes to Java, I wouldn't spit on him if he caught fire.
He said, Pastor in Java, he wouldn't even spit on you if you caught fire. So that means he knows something really, 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 really about this Java fella.
He's a witch doctor. But I think Lovy is a victim of the spell that he's under from Java.
And I don't think so. I think they're all in a prophetic network and they discovered how to make money. And whoever taught them, of course, according to Greg Locke, they didn't all have this. They was all eating peanut butter sandwiches until all of a sudden now all of these people are so prophetic and all of these people know everything and they hear from God and all of this other stuff. Don't believe me? All right, Marcellus, I'm gonna stop this video for now. I'm gonna come back and I'll do a part 2 to the video portion of this. But let me just show you something, because you guys know I don't just talk it. I walk it and I go do my homework and I research stuff. Let me see where I'm at. Let's go here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lovy Elias's website. Okay. Now, Prophet Lovy has now, this is a course that he had in December 2nd. Okay. For one night only, he's going to teach you, once you register, you'll be taken to the realm of angels portals page, which will return. You will return to the portal on the day that the class is due. There will not be any links out. So he's going to teach you how to get into the realms of angels and interact with angels and have angels, operate on your behalf. Now look at the price of this class and this course. It's going to cost you $1,000. Okay. This is what he's going to teach you for one night only. Okay. Now, what you will notice too, let me go if I can find it again. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, requests. Let me see if I can find it. This is if he speaks at your event, your church, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Let me see. I got one-on-one. Now I want y'all to look at this. One-on-one counseling. To receive a one-on-one counseling with Prophet Lovy, please fill out the form, including any necessary additional information and submission. Okay, look at the cost of this one-on-one. Now, this is $350 so that you can talk to Lovy. And look what it says, what the Christian Post wrote, there are no refunds. Okay, now, just because I am who I am and I can do what I want to do, if you go to hold on, but let me not do this right now. Hold on. Let me hide this because I know how folks are. Let me show you something. Let me show y'all something. Y'all gonna be mad at me, but I don't care. So I say, let's go to everybody's website. Take a look at everybody's website. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is Dr. Dingleberry's Patreon, and I want you to pay attention to what's listed here, okay? In addition to his subscription benefits, you're going to get higher level teaching and coaching. I don't know how you're going to get higher level from somebody that's way down deep in the mud here. Breakdown, and he's going to have the virtual prophets, these virtual prophets and counselors and coaches. Okay. Then he's going to give you these virtual prophets. And you notice all of these virtual prophets. Okay. And then he says divine partnerships. Now there's one thing here's one thing that I also wanted to tell you about. If you look under exclusive content, one of the things that he mentions is the stock market. How you offering information in regards to people in the stock market when you are not a licensed financial planner, nor do you have a license on this page to acknowledge that anybody else is who the license of the person who's going to be teaching stock market tips. Let me tell you something, what I do know. Any financial planner, any licensed stock advisor, any person that's giving out stock tips and stock advice, you must list your state license number on your website or wherever you're listing that information. You can't just say you're going to give people stock market advice and you ain't got no license number listed here. Ain't no license number listed on this page. So this is Dr. Dingleberry's page where he talking about he going to give out stock market tips. Now, one of the things that he also does is he also does these calls, these prayer calls. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, you're gonna tell us about that now at 8 o'clock at night. Give me a break. So you all need to understand that and gather that. Now, my opinion is that all of this stems from these prophecy calls, these prayer calls, and all of this stuff when they get your information. Now, Tasha Global, I'm gonna stop what I'm saying for now because I want to bring in the Gigi and Lovy portion of this, and I want you to come up here and help me and help the rest of us make a little bit of sense about this. And I don't know who all is in this chat. So Vincent, if you in this chat, if St. James is in the chat, but I want one of those content creators that I do know to come up here, and I want you guys to give me a little bit of piece of this. You can give me the abridged version, because we're probably going to end up having to make another video about this. Because I tell you, there's a whole lot more that I want to talk about, because I tell you, I've been praying about this. I really truly have. And now I'm starting to get the picture of this stuff that's going on. I'm starting to get the picture. I have dropped the link for you. If it takes you a little bit of time to get in, don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have said to you thus far tonight, ladies and gentlemen, does it make sense to you? Did something click in you or something go off in your brain to let you know? Now, I'm going to tell you something, just because I'm silly like this. I want to show y'all. Let me share this with y'all. All you prophets. Let me see if this is the one. Let me see. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to monetize this video, because what I'm about to show you, to all you prophets, when y'all start prophesying, this is what I hear. This is what I hear right here. This is what I hear. This all I hear. This is what I hear right here. Phenomena, because they ain't never saying nothing. Phenomena. This is what they're doing, and they getting your money, going phenomena, and they ain't telling you nothing. You ain't got no new information. God ain't gave you nothing. It's all ethereal. Is God's gonna do, and is God's gonna bring you the blessing? But this is all I hear. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. So when y'all hear me the next time y'all hear me, y'all gonna know that's what I'm talking about. Because that's what I hear every time y'all start these fake prophecies and all of this mess. That's all I hear. Phenomena. I swear to God, that's all I hear. Lord help me. You know I'm telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, Lord. Tasha Global, if you can, I'm waiting on you, because I need just an abridged version of this, Gigi, because you and Gigi is having a time too, and I need to because it took me 2 days to get through your video, because I started watching it late at night, and then I had to finish watching it during the day. They ain't giving us nothing. Ain't nothing coming out of them people. Ain't nothing coming out of them people but a whole bunch of lies. And that's what we're not allowed to say, and we're not allowed to talk about, because we're Christians and we're just supposed to take whatever folks dish to us. And I'm so sorry. No, not me. Not me. Not me. Not me. Not at all. Not me. I'm waiting on the person. I don't know. Did she fall asleep on us? I could have swore I just saw her. All right. Well, I can move on. Let me see where y'all at. Oh, Lord, here we go. Okay. All right, you all. That's part one. I'll rest it there with you guys for part one, because I didn't want to make this video too long. Now, if y'all tell me y'all want me to continue, because shout out to the 570 some of you guys watching. If y'all want me to continue with the video portion, I will do so. So y'all let me know in there. Y'all let me know in the chat, and I will go right on back and we can finish, because I got a lot I want to talk about when it comes to this stuff. I'm just saying. I wanted to give Tasha Global, because I know she's on the East Coast, I wanted to give her a chance to come up here and give me an abridged version of the Gigi situation. Oh yes, it will. Oh yes, it will. Oh, they can best believe that. Oh, yes. Okay, y'all want to give me all of this stuff when I'm live? Okay. Tiffany, This is a good question. If I'm gonna be honest with you, Tiffany, a lot of us in the institutional church were taught to never question the preacher, the prophet, the pastor. We were taught never to do that. And so a lot of people get away with this because we are taught not to question them. Because the moment that you question the man or woman of God, you are out of line. And that's why Christians support it. Truly. And I'm gonna give you another piece of this, Tiff. Passion, Lovy, and all of these people are now throwing Noel Jones's name around like a rag doll. Oh, he's my spiritual daddy. He's my prophet. He's this, he's that. Let me tell you something about how this game works with these people. Let me tell you how the game works. So this is real talk. All these people do, if they want you to use your name, to use your influence, I don't see you, Tasha Global. I don't see you. It says you're in log, Tasha. Go out and come back in, please, because I don't see you. Because until it shows up here, I don't see you. And I don't know what's going on, but this system sometimes acts a little wanky. So go out and come back in. It might take you a few times to do it. Let me tell you how this works. Let me tell you how this works. They will give a big lump sum of money to a very well-known prophet, preacher, televangelist, bend down and kiss the ring, and then the prophet pastor becomes their best friend. Oh, this is my spiritual son. This is one of my spiritual sons. And they will use other preachers' names in order to validate who they are. That's one of the reasons why Dr. Dingleberry is always trying to get in a certain type of circle and take pictures with certain type of people who he doesn't know and he would never know. And these people would never have anything to do with him. And so that's the frustrating part with him, as far as that's concerned. Tasha, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, you're off of mute now. Can you hear me? Because I can say
Yes.
something.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I can hear. I can. Tasha, can you help me understand? Just give me an abridged version of this Gigi situation. What is Gigi just trying to expose the relationship she had with Lovy? What seemingly seems to be her end goal in this situation? Because when she first came out, I told everybody that that woman had slept with that man, and nobody wanted to believe me. And so I just skedaddled out of everybody's chat because I was like, okay, they thinking I'm just being mean or being rough or something. But this, I've been knew it, and I heard you say on the video either yesterday or the day before, she didn't get to the sleeping part of her and Lovy until her third video.
Yeah, because she came out with part one, and in part one she was alluding and beating around the bush, and we had to figure out, well, did they sleep together, or was it just a situation of them being together? And then by part, and when I say being together, like maybe just dating each other.
Mhm.
By the time we get to part three, she says they engaged, and there was apparently a pregnancy, and she said that there was some type of, demonic witchcraft going on that was done that made her have a miscarriage.
Which I can believe because Prophet EJ,
Yeah.
with what he calls himself, EJ came out and said that he had gotten a girl pregnant in a clip of a video that I saw,
Hmm.
and he paid, I think it was $4,444 to a prophet, and the prophet, he told the prophet that the girl had gotten pregnant. Now, to me, if I was a member of his church, that right there would make me leave. I'll be gone. I'd be gone right there. You mean to tell me you going to a so-called prophet and giving them some money so you can make a woman miscarry, which furthermore says you don't believe in murder unless it's the type of murder you want to commit.
Yeah.
You're not interested? Did that not raise a red flag with anybody other than me? I'm saying this man is literally talking about murdering an
Mm.
unborn child.
Yeah, and they're using witchcraft practices, and they're using their traditional African spirituality that they've already learned in Africa. So Gigi, in my opinion, this is my opinion from my
Okay.
analysis.
Okay.
Gigi knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Gigi had false expectations, and when things did not go the way that she anticipated, she was hurt and she was disappointed. like most women, and also Prophet Lovey was 10 steps ahead of her, so she also felt deceived. Now, what's happening now is Gigi is all over YouTube. She doesn't come into the comment section. She watches from the background. And what she did 2 days ago on Wednesday morning at 2:49 a.m., she sent me a screenshot of a comment that I made in Vincent's chat.
Mm.
And my point is that, okay, you send me the screenshot of what I said in Vincent's chat. What I said offended you. You never responded to me. You never told me why you sent me the screenshot. 24 hours later, the screenshot ends up on an Instagram blog.
Mm.
And so that means you're now feeding information to blogs.
Mm.
If you see something that you don't like, you're
Wow.
feeding it to a vlog, and the vlogger created an entire lie about me.
Wow.
What did I say about Gigi? I was basically commenting and agreeing with Vincent to the effect of, instead of you coming out with part 1, part 2, part 3, why didn't you just create one video and get to the point? This is not church. Stop beating around the bush.
Right. Because that's what I said.
I slept with this man. I had sex with this man. Let people know the point. When you bring your receipts, the receipts have to be in chronological order.
Correct.
You piecemeal and then make people think that they have to put it together themselves. So you're coming on YouTube with pieces of a puzzle and you want the viewers to put it together. So I basically said in Vincent's chat, and it was an example, I said, or she basically should have came on and said, my name is Gigi. I F Prophet Lovey, and I got money.
Mm.
I'm not telling her to say it like that. I was basically alluding to the fact that you have to be straightforward because you cannot expose somebody unless you expose yourself.
Absolutely.
And at
Absolutely.
the end of the day, the fact of the matter is you're a woman. You did sleep with this pastor. I know that babies are not happening through immaculate conception anymore. You have to have sexual intercourse for a baby to be created.
Correct.
So what is the problem with coming straight out with it? Now there's going to be a part 4.
Now, let me ask you this, Tarsha. Let me ask you this. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Do I think that they could have done something to make Gigi lose a baby? Now, with what they're saying and all of their witch practices and all of the stuff they're doing, it could have been a possibility.
Yeah.
It could have been something that happened to her because these people are admitted to this now on video. We can watch it and we can hear what they have said. So this is dangerous territory. Now, and just from me being who I am, I'm going to tell you that these people trying to do this stuff here. Let me tell you something about America that I do know. With all of America's faults and flaws, there are a lot of believers in this country who really do serve the Lord and who are doing their best to know him in a deeper and a more personable way. You can play this game in America thinking you're going to hoodoo somebody, and what you're going to find yourself with is no legs, no arms, and you're going to find yourself laying in a hospital bed crying every day. Okay, you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. Now, I'm not wishing ill on anyone, but one thing I do know about the Lord, because he's done it for me in my life, is what when people start trying to hoodoo you and put spells on you and stuff like that, they end up, that stuff boomerangs, and they end up losing their life and they end up leaving up out of here. And I don't feel bad about saying it because I know some people who tried it and they're not alive anymore. And so, you don't play these types of games. And EJ is over here now, Tarsha, trying to say, oh, well, now he's spilling the beans on the rest of the witch doctors and the rest of the prophets. But EJ, you was doing the same thing with these people.
Yep. And you have to, at the end of the day, you took part in it. You took part in the money. You took part in going to the Gucci store. You took part in some of these rituals.
Absolutely.
And so the issue that I have with even Gigi, you cannot come out here and try to sugarcoat everything and push your infidelity, your adultery,
Mm,
your fornication, and all the stuff that you did on vloggers.
right.
I am a vlogger over there minding my business. Out of everybody that was in the chat, you decided, well, let me just, I don't like what Tasha Global said. No, it's not that you didn't like what I said. You don't want to, you're not ready to face the truth.
But I don't believe it's just her. I'm gonna tell you what I believe, Tarsha Global. She didn't just single you out because and the reason why I wanted to get you up on this platform, and I just need to reiterate this, because their whole modus operandi is to paint you as some crazy lady. Okay. And the same thing, no, I'm for real. And the same thing they did to you, they did to Daryl Moore. And the whole idea is to get people to think this Tasha Global is crazy off her rocker, and y'all don't need to listen to her. Y'all don't need to support her. And the only thing Tasha Global is doing is she's exposing and having commentary and talking about these subjects just like everybody else. Now, the reason why they're scared, Tarsha, is because you don't come out here in these YouTube streets and people are actually listening to you. And that is the problem that they have, is that people are actually listening to you. I was talking to someone today, Tasha, and you actually came up in the middle of the conversation, and I told the person, I said, the reason why I said I was going to not go back and forth with any content creator was because of you and another very well-known content creator who called me personally. You didn't call me personally, but the other one did. And when this content creator called me, he said, he said, Marcellus, you need to protect your energy, protect your peace, and don't go back and forth with these people, and to really stay focused, because I know your content. You've been out here for years. He was like, just stay focused. Then you came out with the video, the Gay Church Mafia. That was the video. That's what you came out with. And you said, I'm not going to be going back and forward and with any of these people. And the word you said was any gay man. That's what you said. You wouldn't go be doing that. And I said to myself, I said, well, Marcellus, why would you go back and forth with any of these people? Why wouldn't you just stick to your content and just do your content? So I said, yeah, every now and then we throw a little bit of shade or whatever, because that's just done. Everybody does that. But I'm not trying to fight with anybody. And I credit you and that other content creator for really the light bulb. I swear the light bulb went off this year. And I said, oh, I'm about to make a whole lot of people mad, because I'm going to make my content and I'm going to go about my business. And I don't care what you say. And I don't watch the videos. I don't watch what they say, Tasha. I'm just telling you, I literally go about my business. But you were very instrumental in me making that decision this year, just so that you know that.
Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah,
you have
because
Marcellus.
I'm not going back and forth with none of them.
I have the opportunity that I'm up here because I've been watching your platform and I listen to your commentary, and this is my analysis. Because this whole YouTube space, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be out here. I would be in my private life doing what I like to do. What I've noticed about content creators in this space that attack certain content creators, such as yourself, and I'm going to just say it, some of these people don't really have a real high level of intelligence. They're imitators.
Right.
They're frauds. And so when they see someone who is very intellectual and this is just how you are, it creates a level of jealousy. So I'm not coming down off of my high place to come down and go back and forward with you, with anybody, and not you personally, but I'm saying with these
Right.
people that
Right.
create these narratives and they want to create drama because they need to get cash apps, and they need to create drama to draw their crowds. That is low vibrational intellectual behavior. I vibrate high, you vibrate high. We don't need to do all of that for God to use us in the space that he's using us.
Right.
And so that's what I've noticed. And I said to myself one day, I'm not going to come out here and go back and forth. Why? Because it's going to take away from the assignment that God has for us to do.
Right.
And this is what I, going forward, have made a decision. Larry is calling me all type of names. Mind you, you're supposed to be such a millionaire and have all of these followers and subscribers, but you want to attack a woman who has 2,800 and I think 52 subscribers right now on my channel.
Right.
So it's a threat to their organization.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's gonna go up. I guarantee you. After this live, you're gonna get some more subscribers. But I'm just gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. It's when he starts referring and starts calling you names. When they and I'm gonna just tell you this. You know you're hitting them where it hurts when they start calling you these names. Because I'm gonna give you something, Tarsha. When Daryl first came out with his stuff, the cigar vlogger name came from them. They actually named Daryl the cigar vlogger. They called him the cigar man and the cigar stuff. So they kept calling him all these names. He just took the names that they called him and he started using them. And they got mad because all of the stuff that they were doing, it wasn't hurting him. And so everything that they kept doing, they was like, why is this dude still coming? And so this guy kept coming, and they didn't know what to do with him. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing. The frustrating part with these people right now is they don't know what to do with you, Tarsha. They don't know what to do with you. They over there scrambling like how are we gonna get people to not pay her any attention? Oh, okay, let's go to the fact that she's a crazy lady. We'll use the crazy lady thing because she done went up in what's his name, the Whitehead's church. She done went up in the Whitehead's church, and we gonna show the video and we gonna tell everybody she crazy. I'm gonna tell you what they did to Daryl. No lie, Tasha, this is true story. I can't make this up. There was one lady that was over there with Dr. Dingleberry. She went out on the internet and told, because one of Daryl's friends ended up like killing a woman one time, right? Or he did something. He was one of Daryl's either old sorry to say fraternity brothers, right? So the guy ended up killing somebody. The woman went out in the social media and told everybody that Daryl rode around with her in the car the day that he went and murdered this person. And Daryl and him ain't had nothing to do with this stuff. But this is the lie that they told, and people will believe this stuff. Yes. And it was amazing. And so when I see them keep reiterating this stuff about Tasha Global's crazy, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me stop this train from going. Because I feel like we can articulately say, I don't believe you're crazy. I have heard you speak. You speak very well. You're very intelligent. And if they thought you was crazy, they wouldn't have keep calling you on the phone asking you for your money. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They wouldn't do that. And not to kind of segue into this, but I have to ask you a question about this because I've been praying about this, Tarsha. When I was talking to the Lord about these prophetic phone calls, and something that's really disturbing to me, I don't know, and maybe you would know more than I don't know. And if you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. Because I know you have some, relationships that you may want to still keep intact. And I don't want you to, end any of the relationships that you have. So, because when I talk about this stuff, I go deep, right? So you ain't got to go where I'm going. With your time and experience so far with Mr. Jordan, it seems that he's using these prophetic phone calls and these phone calls to people like you to fund his lifestyle and his ministry. Would I be accurate in my statement when I say that?
I will say this. I know that the ministry is funded. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the time that I was there, from the communication that I had, it seems as though he has a lot of investments and he also has a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm. Now, but that comes from people funding him and being able to buy that, right?
Yeah. So
right.
If you want to put it in that aspect, then that would be correct. What I will say is, and if I start saying anything, you could cut me off because I don't want to bring any disparaging comments over here.
Right.
But what I will say is that during the pandemic, there was a cross-pollination of membership between Zoe and the NBN network.
Uh-huh.
And so there was a lot of double giving. Mm-hmm. And so during the pandemic, both of those ministries made an exceptional amount of money out of the normal because number one, it was a pandemic.
Right.
Number two, we were all home. And number three, whoever said that Bishop Jordan was reintroduced through Larry to help restore his reputation, that is true. That was spoken about many times, and it drew people to his ministry.
You're talking about Jordan.
Yes, because the membership was very low.
Now let me stop you right there because you know I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. What Larry did for Bernard was give him access to an online audience.
Yeah.
He bought the online audience that maybe was not so familiar with him, and Larry sort of legitimized Bernard in a sense by saying, "Oh, this is America's great prophet, and he made all these prophecies, and he did all of this stuff." Now, Tasha, you may not remember this, but one night they did a show, and I ended up calling into the show. This was many, many moons ago. I ripped Bernard Jordan a new one, right? I ripped him a new one. And I said, you guys, this man done sold everything in America from soap on the rope, soap prophecies, I mean all kinds of stuff. I said it is all Jesus junk. You are just deceiving the people, and Larry wouldn't let me and him on the phone at the same time. Larry kept Bernard in the back and let me finish. And then when I finished, Bernard came up after me. And then Bernard goes, "Well, you don't need, you know how slow he talks, to listen to Marcellus." Because that's part of that hypnosis foolishness.
Yeah, they
That's
keep it over there.
yeah. That's why they talk so. That's why he talks so slow, and all of this kind of stuff. But Tasha, I'm gonna tell you something. Bernard Jordan, as far as evangelicals in America, especially white evangelicals, his name has been mud. It's gonna remain mud. Now, to these new people online who may be unfamiliar with who he is, they might be won over by Larry Reed. But the rest of us who have been in Christendom for a long period of time, Bernard Jordan will never get the respect of the larger Christian community. He's lost that years ago.
Yeah, my friend had to put me on because I was kind of I will say I was kind of like sheltered. I was already in my own church. I'm the type I don't go around looking, for all these different ministers. So I got reeled in over there during someone put in the chat the church in the pandemic series.
Mm,
And so I was actually like new to Bishop Jordan, new to like that whole realm that he's in.
right,
And as it pertains to me giving my donations, no matter what ministry I'm in, I just want to make this clear. I am a tither. So I'm a giver. So it has nothing to do with me paying for prophecies.
I got you. I
That's
got
just me, how I am, whatever ministry I'm under, I am a giver and I give my tithes. So once I left there, my tithes left with me. You know what I'm
you.
saying?
Right, and that's
But
why they keep calling you.
yeah, and so at the end of the day, we cannot keep supporting people that are moving in a realm of deception under the guise of the prophetic and in the name of the Lord, because that is not how God. That's not how God operates.
Right,
Not how
right,
I operate, and that's why I ultimately had to walk away.
right. And I know it's really tough, especially in some of those circles and things. But I'm gonna tell you this while I still have you here. When you put your name and you ask them to stop calling you, and you put your name on that do not call list registry, it only takes 5 minutes to put your name on the DNC list. Listen to me carefully. Every time they call you, they are breaking the law, and you can and what you should get in the habit of doing is getting you a phone recorder, because if and back in the day, I'm a little older, it used to be $11,000 per phone call that they had to pay you. Now I'm assuming that was years and years ago, so it's probably gone up since then. The dollar amount has gone up, but every single time they call you, and after you done told them not to call you no more, that's $11,000 that they have to pay you.
Well,
Just so you know.
I had now this is new information for me. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm going to implement this tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get another call. I mean, it's probably going to be next week or so. I don't
That's
know.
all right. Then let them keep calling you after you and put your name on the list, and just make a note and a record of it. $11,000. It used to be per phone call. And when I get off of this live, I'm gonna go find out what it is nowadays. Because you guys do know they're not allowed to call you once you verbally tell them to take you off of the list. And if they keep calling, you get paid. So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But
Okay.
I appreciate you telling me about the Gigi situation and kind of giving me a little bit of understanding. I just think that Gigi is going to have to stop what she's doing,
Yeah.
give it up, and she didn't roll the story out properly. she didn't just come out and say, hey, I did these things with this man. She just tried to paint the picture about him, and she tried to exclude herself. And I even said on a video the other day, Gigi needs to straighten up her halo on her horns. The problem is you're trying to pretend like you've got a halo when you've got a set of horns under there too. We're all of us have fallen and come short of the glory of God. All of us have done it. So you don't need to come out here trying to pretend like you're some perfect angel and you've just repented to the Lord. And they kill me when they start talking in them old soft voices and acting like everybody, oh, I'm so meek in my. Can you just talk and spit it out, Gigi, and get to the point so we can understand a little bit better? You know what I'm saying? I'm just over it. But I do appreciate you. Everybody, Tasha Global is over there on YouTube. What's the name of your channel, Tasha? Tell me again. What's the name of your channel?
Global.
It's just Tasha Global. So Tasha Global is on YouTube, you guys. You can put that in and look up Tasha Global. And she's gonna, she's out there, talking and becoming a force to be reckoned with. And I know folks just don't like that. Well, oh well, you ain't got to like it. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
No, that's it. Thank you for having me. I think I'm always available to share information, share ideas, because we are thought leaders. And
Absolutely. Now, is the baby sleep, or is the baby, you put the baby down already?
Yeah, she's sleeping. You don't hear her, that means she's sleeping.
Look, Tasha gets so she'd be like, oh, the baby's crying. I'd be like, let the baby cry. I don't mind hearing the baby cry, but Tasha be like, let me put her down. She put her on mute. But I appreciate you coming up, Tasha. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night. All right, you guys. I'm definitely going to probably do a part 2 to this because I want to get to the other part of the Greg Locke stuff that we need to talk about when it comes to Lovy and this whole prophetic network. I want you all to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Pay attention. Let me explain it. And I know I seem to be beating a dead horse here, but these men that you see on your screen, y'all need to understand something. This is a racket. This is a racket that these people are doing. And this is my opinion. And I don't care who don't like it. They are using the name of the Lord to profit off of God's people. And they're using these prophecy phone calls to fund their lifestyles. I have showed you on these people's website, on Lovy's website. It's on everybody's got it. And they might go tomorrow and take it off, but they all got it because I done went and I done look. Everybody talking about prophecies. And Bernard Jordan, because he's the King Don Juan, he puts, his prices is so high, you need a small loan to do anything with over there with Bernard Jordan. You got to have some show enough money over there with Bernard Jordan. I'm just telling you, because he ain't messing around. You're gonna pay $12,000. You're gonna pay a lot of money for stuff over there. I'm just telling you. So just be very prayerful, be very mindful. This is part 1. We'll do part 2 tomorrow, and I'll go over with you tomorrow night around this same time. I'm gonna probably come on about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with this part, because I have something else that I want to talk to you guys about at 2:30 tomorrow in the afternoon, and we'll talk about that. And then all this week coming up, ladies and gentlemen, if you support the channel, I'm telling you, all next week I'm working on my Larry Reed video for the TD Jake saga. So that's what I'm focused on for all this week coming up. So because I was focused on some of this other stuff, because I be doing research. I ain't lying, y'all. I be digging in these holes. I got to find out what's going on. But I prayed about this situation. You guys think y'all slick, but y'all not slick. And God's going to show these people in these Patreons, and he's going to reveal himself to these folks so these folks know what y'all really all about. And in 2025, you think you wasn't getting no support. He's going to dwindle all that support down, and y'all going to find yourselves in a very, very vicarious situation. And you just watch. They're going to start begging, and they're going to have a once a month prayer-a-thon, and it's going to be a big fundraising thing. Trust me, they was doing it before, but they about to bring it back and take it up to a whole nother level. So y'all watch what I'm telling you, and you watch what I'm telling you, and then I'm gonna get into the other prophets over there with Dr. Dingleberry, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff. Now I just want to tell every single one of you, please hit the like button. It's over 600 of y'all. I should have at least 300-400 likes in this video minimum, at least by almost by 400-500. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and it's just always something. Y'all meet me tomorrow at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, and I'll see y'all again tomorrow night. We'll do our part 2, and we'll actually talk about this. Somebody said I'm behind in the stream. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to catch up on that. You definitely gonna have to catch up on that. I love and appreciate you. Thank you to all of the members. Thank you to all of the people who cash app and support the channel. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm sorry, I have to do it. I have to do it. This is a whole racket. It's a whole racket. And y'all need to understand and be prayerful about this stuff, and be prayerful about what's going on with these men, because I have seen this in a greater light. I've got an understanding and a revelation of this stuff, and let me tell you something. There's some dark stuff going on, and God's not going to let this stuff fly. And if I were them, I would be praying and getting down on my knees and asking God for forgiveness this year, because God's not even waiting to unveil the truth of this and to reveal who you are. He's uncovering it even yet now as I speak. People are waking up, and they're going to discover even more than what I just said. So you better be paying attention, and you better understand what I'm talking about, because it's going to be a whole mess. Thank you to all of the members. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to all of the people in the chat. Get ready, y'all, because it's going to be a bumpy ride here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications, so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button, or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.